Have you been wondering what to do about all this wildfire smoke lately? Well, this is the video for you. Stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am the Penny Prepper. I'm going to go into a little bit of an overview as to what to do with all the smoke that we've been dealing with from the Canadian wildfires. It's going to be some simple tips and tricks in order to keep yourself a little bit healthier with all the recent smoke and air pollutants. Stay tuned. First things first, I have been a firefighter for quite a number of years, so I'm going to explain what exactly the smoke is and why you need to be worried about it. So first things first, what exactly is fire? Well, it's really comes down to something we used to call the fire triangle, but really now it's down to a tetrahedron, it's called. Basically, it's three main elements and one essential component. So it's going to be oxygen, heat, fuel, those are the three main parts, and then a chemical reaction. The reason that we took a simple triangle and turned it into a tetrahedron is because we added the new element, which is the chemical reaction. If you're able to take away that chemical reaction through whatever means, you can take out the fire. You take out the oxygen, you take out the fire. You take away the fuel source, you take out the fire. You take away the heat, you take away the fire. Now, the part that we're going to be talking about today is not so much the actual fire, but we're talking about what it creates. So as combustion starts, the wooden stick here is the fuel. As you can see, there's different colors of the flame, even at the tip there. That is the chemical reaction. And as we go, the flame is actually the heat part, but also around it. If I had an infrared image, you would see that there's different levels of heat. If I put my hand here, it's hot. Now that's the part that we're talking about, the combustion and what's left from it. Now I'm sure as you noticed, when I blew out the match is when you really started to notice the smoke, and it was a white smoke. Well, basically what that is, typically smoke is just unspent fuel. So say that my hand is the fuel. If there is a chemical reaction here, it is self-sustaining. There's oxygen here, it's able to burn. The chemical reaction is occurring. The heat is self-sustaining. Typically, whenever you have it tilted up, it's able to start heating up its fuel source before it gets to it. That is basically how it's able to sustain itself. If you tilt it up like this, obviously heat rises. So basically what you're doing is you're depriving it of any further fuel. So what we're talking about is the combustion part. Whenever the combustion process starts to break down and it is insufficient to continue burning, that's when you get smoke. A lot of times you'll see black smoke coming from house fires. That's because that is a lot of unspent fuel. Basically, the wood and other items are superheated. They begin to off gas, and that starts perforating throughout the building. And that can actually, I don't know if you've ever blown out a candle or a match and then taken another match and put it right next to it. You can actually light the match again or light the candle by putting a heat source to that smoke. Basically, it's just unspent fuel. So in our case with the Canadian wildfires, that's just wood that has off gas. So it's just wood, it's wood particles. That's why a lot of people are saying, oh, it reminds me of the smell of wood shop. Well, that makes sense because it's just wood particles. Now, would I personally say that it is comparable to smoking 5 to 10 cigarettes like they've been saying? Not necessarily. I would say it's more closely related to standing outside with a campfire for a couple hours. It's not the same thing as cancer-causing cigarettes, whereas a campfire, yes, there are carcinogens. However, it is not the same thing. Now, in the same breath, no pun intended, I don't believe that the levels that we're seeing are dangerous enough to people on the East Coast of the United States to cause alarm. Yes, it's not great quality of air. I'd much rather be breathing in zero air pollutants, but you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. We can deal with it for a couple days. Do you need to be going outside with a gas mask at this point? No. Just don't go outside and exercise. Don't be playing with the kids, the elderly outside for multiple hours. If you need to go out to your car, go to work, yes, that's fine. But at the same time, don't be going for walks. Don't have a picnic. Don't expose yourself to these extra carcinogens. It's unnecessary and unneeded. Now, one thing that I would recommend is, if you haven't already, exchange your air filter or change your air filter for your home. Try to get one of the higher rated ones. If you're unable to find any with a higher rating, try to go with the lower rating. Anything is better than nothing. You can also get air purifiers. I have been hearing that a lot of people are finding that places are running out of them. Also, going out whenever you must go out. If you are somebody who has some COPD or other breathing condition, or you're at risk, make sure that you're either wearing a face mask, hopefully N95 or better. If you're not able to do that, any face mask is still better than nothing. It will still filter out some particles and give you a little bit of a respite from some of the particles coming in. If you have a gas mask and you know what, you are honestly worried you have COPD or some sort of health condition, don't feel afraid to use that. This is honestly a time that you definitely could. Same with what went on in Ohio. You don't want this stuff getting into your lungs and making your condition worse. If you're in your vehicle, be sure to utilize your air conditioning. Don't drive with the windows down, and use the air circulation button just to assist with that air filtration. One thing that I would recommend that I've seen before, as far as people coming up with contraptions in order to make their own air purifiers, you get a box fan. If you are able to find air filters for your home or house, if you're able to get 4 of them, stack them up in a wall, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, make a square, take a box fan, put that on top, turn it on high. What it will do is it will suck in all the air in your house in through the filters, blow it up, out through the box fan, and you will have your own air purifier that you homemade. And it's honestly probably going to be a lot better quality than most that you find. Yeah, it's going to be a little bulky, loud, and sort of obnoxious. But if you are elderly, have children, somebody who has asthma or COPD, it's going to be well worth it. It's going to be a short-term countermeasure. And you know what? You can probably use those filters for your home air system when you're done with it. All right, I am posting this video as soon as I possibly can, because of the fact that typically I post my videos Mondays and Fridays at 2 p.m., but I figure this one is a little bit more of a time critical video. So if there's anything else that you would like to see coming up, please comment and let me know. As always, stay safe and stay prepared.